Blaming Rahul Gandhi for the party's electoral reverses in the Lok Sabha election, a senior leader in Kerala termed the Congress vice president a joker and demanded that he be removed from his post if he does not step down voluntarily. While the clamour for Priyanka grows, this has got to be the sharpest attack yet on the Congress vice president. But a more pertinent question, if the party has lost faith in its blue-eyed boy.
സ്വയം ഒഴിയില്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒഴിപ്പിക്കണം. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ഭ്രാന്തൻ നയങ്ങളും പരിപാടികളും ജോക്കർ കളിയും കോൺഗ്രസ്സുകാരല്ലാത്ത ഒരു സെറ്റ് ആളുകളെയും കൊണ്ടുള്ള ട്വിറ്റർ ഇൻ്റർനെറ്റ് കളികളുമൊക്കെയാണ് പാർട്ടിയെ തോൽപ്പിച്ചത്.
According to reports, the Congress is already looking into the matter with General Secretary and Kerala in charge Mukul Vasnik. Given the responsibility, inputs are being sought from the Executive Committee of the State Congress and a final decision will be taken by the State Unit Chief. It is highly likely that T.H. Mustafa will be suspended from the party, but the bigger question is, how can the party's leader be called a joker by a man who's been a former minister in the Kerala government, a 5-time MLA? He's been a Congress man all his life. He says Rahul Gandhi is a joker and it is because of people he had around him that the Congress did as badly as it did. Joining us on this broadcast, Sanjay Jha representing the Congress party, one of India's foremost journalists, Siddharth Vardharajan, also with us at this time. Sanjay Kaul from the BJP. I want to go across first to Siddharth Vardharajan because so far pundits have been unhappy. People in the BJP have been mocking him. On the streets there have been questions. Now you've got a Congress insider calling Rahul Gandhi a joker. Siddharth Vardharajan, what do you make of this? Siddharth, do you hear me?
Well, I think it's unfortunate that any party would use this kind of language to describe its own leaders, let alone... I can hear you. I think it's unfortunate when political activists or members of a party use this kind of language either against an opposition figure or their own party leaders. But I suppose it conveys the depth of the frustration of the party's rank and file at the disastrous performance of the Congress in this last Lok Sabha election, where it fell from 200, essentially lost 160 odd seats. And there is no question that Rahul Gandhi led from the front and has to essentially share or take a large part, if not a major part of the responsibility for this. So I suppose as we proceed, these kinds of voices are going to grow because what the Congress hasn't done so far is to engage in honest, frank, detailed introspection about why the party did so disastrously in these elections. I think the party needs to have this discussion, and as long as that discussion keeps getting postponed or keeps getting drowned in counter voices of secrecy.
No, but so far there has been no real discussion. Instead, what we've seen is that Mustafa himself has been suspended. Clearly, the Congress in no mood to introspect. Sanjay Kaul, the BJP, of course, must be thrilled to see the Congress implode in this fashion and to have Rahul Gandhi being attacked by people from within his party.
No, I think we'd like to be far more graceful than that. We have won the election and the Congress has been decimated to a large extent. It would be highly uncharitable of me to suggest that this is the sort of language anybody should be using against their own leaders. I wouldn't like it if something like that happened in my party. But you also have to understand that, when you go through losses like that, you have to have mechanisms to handle that sort of disappointments. And if you do not do that, then, you create a pressure cooker situation and this sort of stuff happens. But it's not for me to actually advise. I'm merely just analyzing the situation. And I'm saying that also, I would also like to add that if this particular minister had the courage to actually speak about his opinion before the elections, he might have been far more effective in securing his own future.
Okay. I want to go across to Sanjay Jha from the Congress party. Sanjay, what do you make of T.H. Mustafa, senior Congress leader from Kerala, 5-time MLA? He's held an important portfolio, who says Rahul Gandhi behaved like a joker, and that's the reason the Congress suffered a major reversal in the Lok Sabha election. This is not Sanjay Kaul or Narendra Modi calling him Shahzada. This is a congressman saying Rahul Gandhi is a joker. Can it get any more damning or worse than Rahul Gandhi than this?
Well, let me tell you upfront, Rahul, that as far as we are concerned as a party, and we've got lots of members in the party at various levels, state, center, youth congress, etc. I mean, there is unanimous support for Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Now, there may be a sporadic voice making some kind of an absurd statement. We're not going to respond to each one of them. The truth is, end of day, as a party that the Congress party is concerned, I was hearing some spokesperson of the BJP earlier. Let me tell you that we have an inherent and an intrinsic resilience that has been demonstrated over years. And if you look at, the cataclysmic fall, from the 1989 elections, from 410 seats to 197, these were very, very serious reminders that we had to go back to the grassroots and re-energize and reinvigorate the party. We will do so again. I can tell you that, for those people, even within the party,
but there's another point, Sanjay, that Mustafa makes.
Who write the obituary of the
Sitaram
Congress.
Keshri was fired when the Congress's tally came down to 145 seats. Under Rahul's leadership, the Congress has come crashing to 44. Yet no action has been taken against Rahul Gandhi. Instead, your party acts against T.H. Mustafa, who raised his voice against Rahul Gandhi. Is that even fair? Why no action against Rahul Gandhi? Because Mustafa said either Rahul must step aside or be sacked.
Well, I want to tell you, Rahul, that, it is a notion that somehow, pervades that within the Congress party, there are not enough voices of dissent. You have heard many people speak up, and I think, we are taking it in a very, very positive light. That, when the defeat of such magnitude happens, frankly, our vote share has not been as bad as our number of seats. Remember that
no, if you're taking it in positive light, why have you suspended T.H. Mustafa then? If the Congress is open to dissent...
I'm answering your question. No, I think the language he's used is frankly extremely condemnable. It's in very poor taste. And frankly speaking, I don't use that language against my bitterest opponent. So for someone to speak about their own leader when he's in the party in that kind of a tone and tenor, I think has to be...
You are suggesting that this is fringe opinion. I want to put that question to Siddharth Varatharajan. Is this fringe opinion, Siddharth Varatharajan, or does T.H. Mustafa reflect what a lot of people in the Congress think but are scared to say? Siddharth.
No, the opinion is clearly not fringe, Rahul. The language that Mr. Mustafa has used, unfortunately, is not political language. I think it would have been far better if he had subjected Rahul Gandhi to a withering political critique, pointing out in a concrete manner where the Congress Vice President made mistakes and where his team made mistakes. I think that would be a far more fruitful and effective kind of criticism to level against Rahul Gandhi. Perhaps Mr. Mustafa lacks a forum because the Congress party hasn't created a forum for for the articulation of these kinds of arguments. And I sincerely believe that the party, if it is interested in remaining a force in Indian politics, it has to, as part of its process of introspection, allow for the open expression of opinions, no matter how.
Do you think the Congress did the right thing by suspending T.H. Mustafa? Sanjay Jha defends that decision. Do you think the Congress should have allowed him to make his point and not act against him, or do you think the Congress has done the right thing by suspending him?
That the Congress party ought to have? I don't think so. I think that
Rahul, if that question is to me.
Siddharth Varatharajan.
I think the Congress should have and ought to have reprimanded him perhaps for the use of language, But I think suspending somebody, I don't think will send the right signal, because what this will do is that it will force other congressmen and women to bottle up their sentiment, bottle up their feelings, and ensure that as and when this issue comes up for discussion in party fora, the sycophants and those who believe the emperor can do no wrong will be the ones who will carry the day, and that will be a very bad outcome for the Congress party.
But that's a very important point, and Sanjay Jha must answer. There has been no real introspection. Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi offered to resign. That was promptly rejected by Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. There has been no real attempt to introspect, to find out what went wrong and to try and correct it. In such a situation, how can the Congress ever hope to correct itself, Sanjay Jha?
Now, Rahul, let me tell you that over the last couple of days and weeks, in fact, ever since the result came out on May 16th, if anybody believes that we are living in a land of illusions or we are self-delusional about our non-performance in the elections, I think you're completely off the track. At every level in the party, I can tell you that even at the spokesperson's level, people in social media, there is a lot of deep thinking, a deep, rigid,
so what
very
is the
harsh,
assessment
stringent
on this
self-examination.
deep thinking? Do you think Rahul Gandhi is part of the problem? Have you come to that conclusion? Do you hold him as one of the factors that caused the debacle in the elections, or do you think that he's got nothing to do with it, that social media messed up, spokespersons like you messed up, and Rahul Gandhi had nothing to do with the problem?
Let me tell you that you're being very, very harsh on Mr. Gandhi. From the year in which he had his baptism in politics in 2004, the year he made his political debut, Rahul, that was a time when he was our entire party, and he was expecting to sit in the opposition benches because we were written off in the 2004 elections. So he's actually, frankly speaking, bitten the bullet at the very time when he made his political entry. So he's been very instrumental in several assembly elections that we have won. Over 21 over the last 5 years. He has been instrumental in the 2009 elections general, not just the performance in Uttar Pradesh. So in a party, there's an ethos, there is a culture. We don't believe in a blame game. Yes, there will be an apportionment of responsibility that each one has, frankly speaking, spoken up already. There are multiple issues that one needs to look at. There is no denying that.
No, so you're not answering my question. You're essentially saying that there are lots of problems that Rahul Gandhi doesn't have anything to do with any of those problems. That's the essential point you're making. I want to look at another factor.
No, I'm making the point. Making the point that in a large election, in a complex election like India, it is wrong to believe that any one individual is either singularly successful because they win an election, or because somebody or a certain party doesn't do well.
Let's take further what Mustafa says. He says Rahul's mad style of working, using computer and internet in the company of a group of CWC members who only praise whatever he does, has caused this defeat. Sanjay Kaul, how do you respond to this second part of what Mustafa says? He says the only solution now is for Priyanka Gandhi to take up a bigger role in the party. Do you believe that could possibly offer the Congress a solution, Sanjay Kaul?
Yeah, Rahul, you do understand that it's not for me to think about their problems. But I do want to say that the comment that the gentleman made and the style in which he has said it may be a little off. But if you're really listening to the ground, if you are ear to the ground, if you're listening to the noises on social media, this stuff has been building on for quite some time. So I think the Congress has to just merely listen and not start rejecting and refusing and sort of being in denial. And I think they'll do well. Also, I think that this whole thing about his style and stuff like that is also a consequence of poor communication. You have to talk to your troops, you have to talk to people, and leadership is all about carrying people along, explaining what you stand for, and making yourself comprehensible to them. I think if you're not going to be able to do that, you should just
Sanjay Jha, there is a growing perception in Congress circles and among voters that Rahul is surrounded by a coterie of computer wallas who are very good at Excel presentations, who are very good at PowerPoint drawing boards, but who don't fully understand the minutiae and the nitty-gritty of Indian politics. What's Rahul going to do about these advisors?
I can tell you. Well, I can tell you something that having also worked with the party now for almost 10 years informally at the background level, I can tell you that a lot of people who are being today criticized for being his informal advisors of Mr. Gandhi have been there since since even before 2009 general elections. Nobody talks about people when we do well. I guess when things go off the track, yes, there is criticism. I think that's a way of life. We have to accept it. But end of day, there is a change within the party that has happened over the last 5 to 6 to 7 years. I think Mr. Gandhi said so very, very openly when, after especially the State Assembly results in December of 2013, that you will see extraordinary changes in the party. Now give the leader an opportunity to experiment. Some things will work, some things
extraordinary
won't.
changes in the
But, everything,
BJP.
I
We've
believe,
seen the emergence and the fall of the Aam Aadmi Party. We haven't seen Rahul yet being able to turn his promises into reality. I want to welcome Ashok Malik also, because T.H. Mustafa in his concluding part says Rahul Gandhi should take responsibility and quit. If not, he should be removed, and Priyanka Gandhi should be made the new president of the party. Ashok Malik, do you think that could offer a possible solution to the Congress for Rahul to step aside and to make way for Priyanka?
With due respects to Priyanka, she is a better speaker than her brother. I think she's more of a people's person than her brother. But is she a better politician? Does she understand contemporary politics and contemporary India better than her brother does? We have no reason to believe that. She may not. We don't know. I think the problem with the Congress is a little more fundamental. The Congress, as I've argued earlier, is at its best when it's a classic centrist party. It's got the right balance of left and right. In the past 10 years, thanks to some of Sonia Gandhi's and Rahul Gandhi's advisors, and generally speaking, the Congress has swerved wildly to the left. And somehow it has lost that connect with contemporary India. I think that has to be sorted out before you look at X leader or Y leader. Second, by getting rid of Mr. Mustafa, the Congress has got rid of the symptom. He's a difficult voice, so get rid of him. But there is a larger problem. Rahul Gandhi has now failed in 3 successive elections. In UP in 2012, in the 5 states or the 4 states of North India in December 2013, and now in the Lok Sabha election. This is not just one failure. This is 3 successive failures. I think people have a right to seek some accountability from their leaders.
Sanjay Jha, how many failures will it take for Rahul's own leadership to come into question? Or because it's like a family-run business, any number of failures are okay, you can keep tripping over, party can suffer consequences of those defeats, but Rahul's leadership will never get questioned. Is that the way it will stay in the Congress party, Sanjay?
Well, Rahul, I'll tell you, Mr. Gandhi has been in politics, in a complex Indian politics for the last 10 years. And, it has been, if you look at India over the last 10 years, whether it's social, economic or political, there have been huge upheavals and stratospheric changes. Now, what we need to really understand is that over the 10 years, Mr. Gandhi has not just gained in political experience, I think he's led the party extremely well. Now, Mr. Advani was there.
What do you mean when you say well, Sanjay? Do you listen to what you're saying? You say he's led the party admirably well. You're down to 44 seats, Sanjay. If you were doing admirably well, you would be 440 and not 44. How do you define admirably well?
A seasoned veteran politician, I'm explaining that. A seasoned veteran, experienced politician like Mr. Advani, who was part of the senior leaders of the BJP campaign in 2004 and 9, had very, very difficult setbacks, but they have won right now. I mean, in politics, in the life of a political party, you win some, you lose some. I agree that when you have a setback of the magnitude we have had, or the dimension that we are facing today, it does bring a lot more scrutiny. But having said that, let me tell you that Mr. Gandhi is, a leader. Just because you have a bad year financially as a corporate, it doesn't change you fundamentally as a leader, but you have to acclimatize to a new market reality and respond.
No, but Ashok Malik makes the point that you've had much more than just one bad year. In fact, you've had 3 quarters.
I can give you, I can give you examples. Why don't you give him credit for Karnataka, for Maharashtra, for Kerala, for Himachal, for Uttarakhand? I mean, there are several states that we won.
Okay, Siddharth Varatharajan, I want to come to you on the point that Mustafa makes about the need for Rahul Gandhi to step down or be sacked and for Priyanka Gandhi to be made the party president. Is the clamour for Priyanka also a consequence of the fact that we don't know what she's capable of as a politician? She looks well, she looks good, speaks well, reminds people of her grandmother, but people really don't understand whether or not she has a sharp political instinct, and therefore Ashok Malik suggests that it might be too early to consider her to be the solution to Congress's problems. Siddharth.
if the best that Mr. Mustafa and others who are unhappy with Rahul Gandhi's leadership can offer as an alternative to the Congress party is to canvass for Priyanka to take her brother's place, and this is, I don't think we need more proof for the for the Congress party having a death wish. Quite frankly, the party has to introspect in a serious manner about the role of leadership, the question of leadership. Let me give you a simple example. So much of space has been devoted to the question of whether the Congress party will be a formal opposition in the Lok Sabha or not. In my view, the bigger question is, if Congress were to do so, who would lead the Congress in the Lok Sabha as leader of the opposition, given the kind of taxing job that this involves, and who is capable of fighting from the front, trying to pin the government down in a very adverse situation? Is Rahul Gandhi that person? If he was, one would have seen or heard something from him so far.
No, because Sanjay Jha, there is a theory.
Neither Sonia nor Rahul can play the role of an effective leader of the opposition.
No, but that's a big indictment. Ashok Malik, do you think it will send out completely the wrong message if Rahul Gandhi decides to back off and not take the position of the leader of the opposition? Do you think that for him to establish his leadership credentials, he really needs to take on Modi in Parliament? Whenever Modi makes a mistake, be the person to challenge him? Or do you think Rahul should focus instead on rebuilding the party from bottom up, which is what he says he'd rather do?
While building the party from bottom up and making it a robust organization over 10 or 15 or 20 years is a very admirable and creditable idea. The fact is, politics is also about providing leadership. In this election, whether we like it or we don't, people elected a leader. We may not like that leader, we may like that leader, we may not like that system of politics and of canvassing, but the fact is people look for leaders, whether in the states or nationally. And Mr. Gandhi or somebody else from the Congress has to come out as a leader, leading from the front, fighting in the trenches. If Mr. Gandhi does not want to be Prime Ministerial candidate, if he doesn't even want to be leader of the opposition, there will be a lot of heartburn within the Congress, and there will be a lot of misgivings about him being expressed more.
Sanjay Jha, why have we not heard so far a clear answer from the Congress that Rahul Gandhi is prepared to be the leader of the opposition? Why are leaders like Digvijay Singh having to put pressure on the outside to tell Rahul Gandhi that no, you can't escape this position, you must be the leader of the opposition, you must be the face of the opposition to Narendra Modi?
Well, Rahul, I've heard that from a lot of senior Congress leaders who have been imploring Mr. Rahul Gandhi to take up the job of the leader of the opposition. At the same time, this is a call that he will have to take, and I'm sure you will hear about it sooner rather than later. But the fact of the matter is that there is a challenge that we can't, pretend does not exist, because reviving the party and strengthening, all the apparatuses across states and going down to the district level, this is a gargantuan task. It's not something that you can achieve overnight. And while obviously a lot of strides have happened, let me tell you that just because there's been an electoral debacle, please do not assume that a lot of changes haven't happened in the organization. But now we need to perhaps rebuild morale, lift up motivation. But all that means a lot of grassroots connect, and somebody has to really take the onus of that. So I think this is a decision that Mr. Gandhi will take, and he's, I'm sure, fully aware that both sides there are opportunities, both sides there are challenges, but both sides there are also time constraints.
I'm going to leave it over there.
Upon what finally shapes
well, if Rahul Gandhi wishes to emerge as the leader of the Congress party in the truest sense of the word, he cannot run away from the position of leader of the opposition. He must come front and center, assume the leadership position, lead the Congress in the opposition, and not say that he wants to build the party bottom up and stay away from Parliament. His attendance record in the last Parliament was abysmal. He never asked questions. He was mostly missing in action. He needs to lead the party from the front. That's the only way to do it. That's the way that Modi used, and you saw the results he delivered for his party. If Congress is to succeed and if Rahul is to lead them, he has to lead from the front. There is no other way. Siddharth Varadarajan, Sanjay Kaul, Ashok Malik and Sanjay Jha for joining us.